First, it was Cole Caulfield. Then it was Lane Hutson. Sure, there were a few extra guys thrown in there over the years, the Ryan Palings of the world, the Jake Evanses and the Sean Farrells, but for the most part, when it comes to NCAA college hockey weekend, I'd say that Caulfield and Hutson were the two main guys that were so prominent as Montreal Canadiens prospects that every time they had themselves a good weekend, every time they had 2 or 3 points in a game, and then followed up with another goal or something the next night, every time they had a 4-point weekend, we would make a video about it, and it was so darn hype. This time around, we got ourselves another one. Because, ladies and gentlemen, today we are taking a look at a guy who could very well be an elite prospect for the Montreal Canadiens. We're heading over to the University of Michigan Wolverines because Michael Hage, everybody, has gotten off to a fantastic start in his NCAA career. Now, we've already made a few videos on this channel talking about Michael Hage, the profile he possesses, his beautiful story, and his association, his fandom, his love with the Montreal Canadiens so far throughout his life. Not ever since he was drafted, but ever since the guy was a child. We had made a ton of videos about Michael Hage so far, and even though Ivan Demidov, I'd say, is the main dude who's garnering most of the attention out of first-round picks from the 2024 draft drafted by Montreal, Michael Hage is right there doing some very good things too. 6'1", 190-pound right-handed center, defensively minded, a guy whom we labeled as potentially the next Philippe Deneau if everything works out well, maybe even with a bigger offensive touch. Michael Hage had 75 points in 54 games played last year with the Chicago Steel in the USHL, and heading over to the Michigan Wolverines, things took a turn for the absolute best when you take a look at the recap over what UMich did this weekend. The Wolverines played 2 games. They lost the first game to Minnesota State University Mankato 5-2. They then won their next game the next night against Mankato 4-1. And in these 2 games, for the Michigan Wolverines, Michael Hage had a goal and 3 assists. What the hell? He's gotten out there with a 2-point-per-game campaign so far in the NCAA season. He had scored 2 points in the first game and 2 points in the second game. In fact, there was a point of the season when Michigan had their second goal of the second game where Michael Hage had a point on every single Wolverines goal. That didn't last for too long because the Wolverines then scored their third goal of the game yesterday, and then Michael Hage didn't get a point on that. But still, when you consider what this Montreal Canadiens prospect has gotten up to kick off his NCAA career, you cannot help but be excited. And it's even crazier when you acknowledge what these points are looking like. Now, Hage ended off scoring some really nice assists. Of course, he had 2 assists in the first game and then another one in the game yesterday. But the goal that Hage scored, his first NCAA goal, was beautiful. Take a look at the tail of the tape here. Michael Hage has the puck crossing the blue line. He's coming down the left wing, right-handed guy. He's got 2 attackers on him. 1 defender that's a lot closer into the middle, and 1 defender that's on his tail. Hage pitter-patters McDavid style into the middle, protects the puck on his backhand. The defender reaches out the stick to try to chop it away, but Hage says, nope, I'm going to play the puck right through, right under the defender's stick, push it far forehand, and then take a shot while the defender is trying to contest it, and I'm going to go far side, top corner. It's going to be in the back of the net, and I'm going to score my first NCAA goal. Michael Hage puts on the mitts in this goal to go along with the 3 assists that he ended up scoring. Now, if you wanted to get a little bit hyped up, maybe to a bigger extent than you would have anticipated, here are some comments made by different folks on social media. Talk Canadiens has some clips of Michael Hage and the offensive productivity and the chances that he was able to create. Michael Hage reminds me a lot of Jack Eichel. He has every offensive tool in his arsenal at 6'1", 190 pounds. He was dominating in faceoffs at 61%. This is a #1 center in the making. And the clips included show Michael Hage just absolutely having his way in the offensive zone against Minnesota State University Mankato. He's going out there honestly like Jack Eichel. Like, if you look at the clip, you take a look at how Hage is roving around the offensive zone, just the confidence that he's pitter-pattering along the ice with, and just how he holds the puck in front of him, how he dangles it a little bit to keep control as he waltzes around the zone. It does kind of remind me stylistically of Jack Eichel, like, not necessarily the skills, but the form. Just when I see the silhouette, it kind of reminds me of Jack Eichel's skating stride and what he's capable of doing. Who knows, though? I mean, Jack Eichel was a potential franchise center when he was drafted second overall behind Connor McDavid in 2015, so if Michael Hage can have anything sort of similar to that, then okay, be my guest, Michael Hage. In fact, Talk Canadiens went out there and said even more. Jack Eichel is a top 3 center in the NHL in transition, behind McDavid and McKinnon. Michael Hage is a carbon copy of Jack Eichel. He was a top 5 center on my list for the 2024 draft. He has all the tools to be really special. And a lot of these clips that are also included are of the same mold, where Michael Hage is breaking into the offensive zone, he's pitter-pattering with the puck, he's not afraid to take a little bit of a skate with it, and just the confidence plus the ability to really force his way on entries. It's so pristine. Maybe it's because they're playing against Minnesota State University Mankato, but holy crap. This guy could be a lot better than we anticipated. Now, the best part about these NCAA games is that they always take place on the weekend. There are usually 2 games played either on Friday or Saturday, and then we see ourselves the results, and every Canadiens fan can band together and say, oh, look at what Michael Hage did this weekend. We had done the same song and dance with Cole Caulfield. I swear to gosh, like every time Caulfield had a game, he would score like a goal or 2. He would have so many points, and we'd always make videos about it just because Habs fans wanted the scoop on their guy. And Lane Hudson, similar profile to him too, always producing points, breaking records, putting himself near the top of the history books, and Habs fans just could not stop eating it up. For Michael Hage, I feel like because of his really good, just emotional story with his father and his family and his affinity for the Montreal Canadiens, with all of that in the background, watching this guy prance around the offensive zone like Jack Eichel is just pristine, and the goal that he scored is definitely not a normal goal scorer's kind of goal. Let's go over to Hattie K Scouting, because I absolutely love the work that Hattie does on elite prospects and formerly with Dauber prospects. I talked about this exact move, Michael Hage's slip under the defender's triangle move, in his Michael Hage video for elite prospects. It's such a useful way to create a shooting lane when you're as fast and as traditionally potent as Hage is. And some of these replies are just gushing over this guy. Did the Habs get a steal in this kid? Here's hoping. That switch from a stick handle to a shot, that was so quick, it was so hard to see. That was faster than I've seen anyone else do it, NHL included. The goal was nasty, quick hands, what a shot. A lot of people going out there and talking about what Michael Hage had done yesterday. And I think all we gotta do now is just wait and see what happens next. So, if you're a Canadiens fan, if you're a UMich fan, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below if you've been paying attention to these games. What are your thoughts on Michael Hage so far? A lot of these transition clips of him galloping down the zone and just taking control on zone entries, holding it out in front of him, dangling it by guys, and then playing it back to the point for the easy entry. It's just magic to continue watching. And as for Jack Eichel, if this is the guy that Hage ends up projecting to being similar to, how does that make you feel? Maybe Michael Hage is not going to be a franchise caliber center like Eichel is, but if he can play similarly to Eichel, while maybe producing 60 points a year, that, I think, surpasses even the Philippe Deneau conversation that we were having all those weeks ago. So Montreal Canadiens fans, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Michael Hage and his crazy start to the NCAA year. I hope you enjoyed this Vishashros 99, and bye.